Well, good morning. This is Sunday, June 9th, 2024. I'm going to try to make just a real short, aiming for 5 minutes, video about the plan for the site up on Air Bellows Gap. So let's jump into it. This is the property. It's track 2 of the Grafton Estate. If we orient it north-south, then we're going to be able to make more sense of the next few slides here where we've got some boxes drawn out and things. This is the app that I've been using to track some data to draw the site plan in. So we'll see some data tracks and we'll see some boxes and things on this chart. Uh, right away, the first thing I wanted to do on all of these visits, even the first 2 visits before I bought the property, was to track my tracks whenever I visited. So these are the first couple of visits that we took. I took the first one in green by myself. I brought a buddy back on the second trip in purple, and we checked out the property. On November 19th, 2022, that's whenever the deal closed with Linda Grafton. And the 19th, December 11th, and December 17th, I came back in 2022 and just did a few little things. I took, a hike one day and did some weed eating on a couple of other days. 2023 became very busy. The colors here in particular don't mean anything specifically. I did color code them a little bit by date, so all the tracks in the same month have the same color, but doesn't really tell us anything. There was a lot of activity in 2023, but you can see how it was highly concentrated. The purpose of showing the data tracks, though, is revealed here in a couple of slides. Whenever we look at the tracks for 2024, we see how the activity was highly concentrated, and even a specific day's example. This was the black lines were most recent on June 1st. And the reason why I want to highlight those tracks is that whenever we think about drawing boxes and saying, okay, this is where the house is going to go, this is where that's going to go, is that the original survey, the 1999 survey that we looked at on the first slide, there are still many white property markers around the perimeter of the property where that's marked. But it's difficult to get your bearings in just the woods. So all of these data tracks that I've been using, they've been for the purpose of capturing the data. And then when I come home in the evening, I lay that data up against what I think is the site plan. And I'm able to confirm or correct if the area that I was working in that day was the area that I was thinking it was. So in this example, on June 1st, I was really in the zone, and the area that I was working in is the future drainage field. So mentally, I'm able to know from that day, wherever I was working, the area I was working in. When I come home and set it against the map, I can see, yeah, okay, that was actually the precise area that I was working in. So I've got a pretty good feel for where each of these proposed objects are going to be, where these things are going to be laid out. Let me share a few things with you about where they're going to be. There's a lot of boxes and stuff on here, and I'm aiming for 5 minutes, and we're already at 4 minutes, so I'm going to try to speed up a little bit. But when we think about the site plan, lots of little things dreaming about, but specifically, number one, the most important thing is the driveway. I need to get a driveway put in, and the curve here is not anything specific. It's just got to be whatever curve gets us to like a 12.5% slope. And I believe we can get that, and it will come all the way down, and it'll wrap around with a parking pad that goes into a garage down here. The NCDOT guys were shared with me that you definitely don't want the driveway to follow directly along the property line. You want it to be in the interior of your property. And for me, that made a lot of sense because it will help us get to a 12.5% slope on the driveway. And if there's any water runoff, there will be this opportunity of this strip of the property here to direct that water so that it's not, creating a burden for the water runoff on the road or for the neighbor next door. Let's look at some other things on here. Of course, the big goal is to get to a cabin. And right now I'm thinking the cabin is going to be just about in this position, right at the end of the driveway. You might look at that and say, well, why is it kind of pushed off into the corner? But when we remember that the power line easement is into the property some amount, we can see that the distance here at the corner uh, of this cabin is just about halfway between the easement and the power line on the other side. So that should make for a nice position to set up, I think, a screened-in porch that's kind of on the outside there. Just a nice sitting area to see a little bit down the driveway and a little bit into the woods here. So house, screened-in porch. I don't know exactly what the cabin is going to look like, but what I'm thinking is that the envelope will be like this. It'll be a monoslide shed style cabin, about 24 by 48. And I really would like to get a little screened in porch just kind of off to the side there, right in the middle of that property and pointing out towards the road. I think that would be kind of nice. I don't know what's going to be involved in there, but um, yeah, more to come on that. So when it comes to those trees we were talking about, there's a path that I'm trying to build so that you can come in on the contour, and in this uh, drainage field, there's about 11 trees here that need to go. Um, Today, my plan is to get up there and to make sure that tractor path is clear and it's big enough to get into. There are some swales that I've built along this edge that will prevent anybody from passing over in this area. So I'm kind of trying to build that tunnel out so people can get in. There's also another good way to get in, which is at the very top of the hill where the telephone pole is. Come directly in, and there's some room to navigate. So those will be the two main areas that we'll be getting in to get stuff out. Let's see, other things with the property. Of course, I'm going to need a septic tank. Also going to need a well. They have to be separated by 100 feet. That well is going to need power. So fortunately, there is a power pole right there at the top of the hill. I'm hoping that they can put the transformer there, and we can draw power uh, to the pump house. And then in the future, as we start building the cabin, just direct north, straight line to the cabin. Same thing will be with the water well. So if I understand correctly, you drill a well, and then a few feet away from that, you build a pump house, and then that water line will go directly to the house. Since there's going to be water power in this pump house, my thought is to make that a little bit bigger. The maximum size for a shed without any paperwork is a 12 by 12. I think I read that in the Allegheny County document someplace. So I'm thinking about making that about a 12 by 12. And if there's power and water, it sure would be awful nice to put a bathroom in there. If I've got a bathroom, if I've got a septic line, and I can make that line go to where the house would be, and then all of the wastewater is on that back side of that wall, kitchen, bathroom, everything would be on the back side of that wall. It would just be a straight run to the tank and then to the drainage field, which then that kind of opens us up for the very last dream piece here, which is to get maybe a camper out there while I'm working on the cabin. Trying to keep costs down. So if I can be on site while the thing is being built, then you always hear that's a better option, is to be on site and watching over things. I don't think I'm going to be able to build this cabin myself. I just don't think I have that skill set, but I can be there to monitor and overlook things. So yeah, that's the current plan. Let's see if there was anything else. Oh, the propane tank, AC condenser, generator, other things that might go out there. I think that's it. And the thought for maybe a greenhouse in the future. But right now, those are all the ideas that are kind of floating around about this property. Yeah, feel free to come up and visit me on it. I'm happy to give you a tour of everything that's going on, and share with you what the dream is and what the progress is. See you out there. Sorry, this became a 10-minute video. Have a great weekend. Thank you.